This one's for my dad. If you can sing along, I'd love it. All my love, all my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, and that the world could see that you were meant for me. All my life I've been waiting, now there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, that the world can see that you were meant for me. Stars appearing, shadows are falling. You can hear my heart calling. A little bit of love makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All my life I've been waiting, now there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, that the world can see that you were meant for me. All my life I've been waiting, now there'll be no hesitating, no boy. When you're with me, oh boy, and that the world can see that you were meant for me. That the world can see that you were meant for me. That the world can see that you were meant for me. That one was for my dad. So, Ben asked me, like, hey, people are going to be performing, and I thought, like, oh, great, now what should I do? I want to tell you about my family. That's the closest thing to me. It's the thing I love and hold dear, just it's the most important thing to me. So the first one was for my dad. He is Chinese, and my mother is Irish. So I know I can see, like, the nods in the head, like, oh, that's why she looks so Irish. Like, yeah. I know. It's the hair. The hair is a dead giveaway. I know, that's right. But I get a lot of looks like, and especially when I speak Spanish, then I get a lot of looks like. But my mother has blonde hair, and my dad, he's Chinese, and people ask me, like, how does that happen? I'm like, well, my dad fell in love with a blonde. Like, that's all I can think of. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my family and just their background. So my mother is a classically trained singer, and so I remember one time she was up in the bathroom, because when you sing in the bathroom, everything's magical. Yes, everything's magical. And I'd listen to her, and I'm like, what is that, Mom? I'm like, that's come from the bathroom. Go, Mama. Go, Mama. Yeah. So it was wonderful growing up with music all of the time. My dad sang, my mom sang. They forced me in piano lessons. 8 years old, thanks. But this next song I wrote for the women in my family. It's for my great-great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother. It's called I'm Waiting. So back in China, let's take you back there. Great-great-grandfather had to leave because there was no food, no opportunity. The only choice that he had was to leave to provide for his family. And this was something that was common, unfortunately. So the first place that it's rumored that he stopped, and I say rumored because no one can confirm or deny this, first place he rumored to stop was Hawaii, and then he actually started another family there. He sent money back to the family in China, but he never came back for my grandmother. He found his way to the mainland, and I know for sure he started another family there. So apparently, if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. Well, he got the memo. Yes, yeah, woo. But then she was left waiting in vain. My grandmother, she had an arranged marriage when she was about 18 years old, which was common. And then the same thing had to happen with my grandfather. He had to leave. There was no opportunity, no food. And the only thing that he could do was leave so that he could work. But he did come back for her. He came back for her. Fast forward, 1968, 1969, height of the Vietnam War. And my mother and father wanted to get married, but both sides of the family were just so deathly opposed to it because it was new. And interracial marriages just were not common. So both sides of the family like, no, don't do it, don't do it. My father looked at his draft number, and he knew it wasn't going to be if he was going to be drafted, but when. So what he decided, I know some of you are nodding right there, so you're like, yep, yeah, thank you for your service, thank you. I'm going to cry, sorry. But he decided that it was, if he could either be drafted, probably sent to the front lines, or he could enlist. 4 years in the Army or 6 years in the Navy. He chose 6 years in the Navy. He was actually shipped out to Alaska, where he said, "Gi gai ni longa," which means like, why is it so cold in Chinese? But they chose to get married. It was kind of a marriage in a hurry. They got married at a courthouse because none of the family wanted it. So they were married. They had their two best friends. Very simple wedding. And the day after they got married, my father was shipped out to basic training. So this is called I'm Waiting. The first time I saw your face was on our wedding day. You chose me, the dowry paid, and that was that to seal our fate. I didn't know I'd love you so deeply. Now your only choice is to leave me. Don't be another man that takes then leaves. You said you would come back for me, and I'll be waiting. It's either stay and die or leave and try, but we know it's a chance that's worth taking. My father did the same, you see, but if you say you'll return, then I'll believe. And I'll be waiting. And so I'm waiting. War is not the answer, but you're forced to answer when it's at your door. With no cause or pause to remember just exactly what we're fighting for. But from two worlds we'll make one of our own. I don't need much, we'll be each other's home. Go serve your country, but come back to me, and we can start a family, and I'll be waiting. It's either stay and die or leave and try, but we know it's a chance that's worth taking. I never wanted love till I met you. I know you have to do what you have to do. And I'll be waiting. And so I'm waiting. You gave up everything to be with me, and we know that it's worth it, and I'll be waiting. It's either stay and die or leave and try, but we know it's a chance that's worth taking. Though sea and shore divide us now, I know that you're still with me somehow. And I'll be waiting. And so I'm waiting. So I'm Thank you. Thank you. When I was 17, 18 years old, I actually fell very, very ill. And this is actually when I started wearing the flower in my hair, because I fell very ill and I lost my voice completely. And I had to go to a speech pathologist to learn how to speak again, to take the pressure off of my voice. I didn't know if I was going to actually recover or be able to sing again ever. And it's not until you're faced with those things when something's stripped away from you that you realize that maybe this is what my identity has been wrapped in this whole time. And so being face to face with my biggest fears of no one's going to want me if I can't sing. And you think that way, maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a marriage. Maybe it's, being a mom, being a father, being a grandparent, and just being faced with something where you're just so scared that if it's taken away, that if somebody really fully knows who you are, it takes away that mask, then no one's going to love you. And that's not true. That's when I heard a verse that was said over and over again. Said, "Come to me, all who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Like, rest is what I really need, because I've been striving and working, and I found rest. And I finally found rest in that, and knowing that, okay, so this flower is a representation of not all days will be bad days. That flowers bloom in their timing. You can't force them open. That they will bloom, and then also in seasons that they may come back. But for 10 years, I was in excruciating pain because my voice, it just felt like little needles digging into it. No, the doctors didn't know what it was. They finally figured out what it was, and I'm allergic to gluten. And coffee. No. I know, boo, right? But it's through those painful trials we really figure out, where we're resting our hope. And I chose to put my hope because in realizing that who I was made to be is exactly enough. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Oh, remind me who I am, because I need to know. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. Taking all I have, and now I'm laying it at your feet. Oh, you'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. So this song is not about you. Thank you. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. This next song, it's my last one, and it's about the little things. You know how we forget about just the victories that we have in our lives, and then we get the little things that pile in our lives. Like sometimes my daughter's like, "Mama, mama, mama, mama." I'm like, what? Hi. And I feel like I'm gonna pull out my hair. I've got more gray hairs with her name on it. I'm like, because you're like, no, don't touch that, Like, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be just fine. I think about my grandfather's eyes. I can just see him like laughing with that little laugh. Just like, honey, it's gonna be okay. I'm like, yep, you sacrificed so much so that I could have this normal. So this song is called This Is the Stuff. I lost my keys in the great unknown, and call me please, I can't find my phone. Oh, this is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is the stuff that's getting to me lately. In the middle of my little mess, I forget how big I'm blessed. This is the stuff that gets under my skin, but I've gotta trust. You know exactly what you're doing might not be what I would choose. This is the stuff you use. 45 in a 35. Sirens and fines while I'm running behind. Oh, this is the stuff that drives me crazy, and this is the stuff that's getting to me lately. In the middle of my little mess, I forget how big I'm blessed. This is the stuff that gets under my skin, but I've gotta trust. You know exactly what you're doing might not be what I would choose. This is the stuff you use to rid me of impatience, conquer my frustrations. I've got a new appreciation. It's not the end of the world. Drives me crazy. This is the stuff. Someone save me in the middle of my little mess. I forget how big I'm blessed. This is the stuff that gets under my skin. I've gotta trust. You know exactly what you're doing might not be what I would choose. This is the stuff you use. This is the stuff you use. Thank you. Thank you.